Today's video is very valuable because you have been waiting for it. I've gotten many requests to do a visa statement of purpose video for those who want to study in Canada, and finally, the video is here. I wanted to give you the very best, so I did a lot of research to come up with these valuable tips on how to write the perfect statement of purpose for your Canada study visa. Today, I want to show you the secrets to structuring and writing a winning Canada statement of purpose to study in Canada. I will also show you samples on how to address each subsection of the SOP, and I'm going to lay it all out in this video. So if you're planning to just skim through the video, just forget it. You want to stay to the very end. First off, what is an SOP? An SOP is short for Statement of Purpose. Some people call it a letter of explanation, but what you call it doesn't matter. It just has to do its job. In terms of definition, it is a document that is prepared by the visa applicant where the candidate has to present his or her profile with clear intentions of seeking a Canadian visa. The reason why an SOP is very important is because Canada generally does not have a physical visa interview process. So your SOP is basically what takes the place of that interview. So this is basically where you pour out your heart to the visa officer in a structured, positive and convincing way. If your documents are in order and your SOP has all the elements that I will be showing you today, you're making it easier for yourself to get a visa approval. If you're as excited as I am, leave your best emoji in the comments right now. Now, let's get the basic stuff out of the way. Some people ask, how many pages does an ideal SOP have to be? What kind of font should I use? Should I sound formal, friendly, semi-formal, or what? The first thing I want to say is breathe. Relax. There's no prescribed number of pages or fonts to use for an SOP. I always say write as much as you need to write to explain your situation. It can be 2 pages or 10 pages. It doesn't matter as long as it's not repetitive and irrelevant information. As much as possible, keep your statement of purpose short, sweet, and simple. Because the visa officers have a lot of other applications to look through. So just make it an easy read so that they can get all the information they need to give you your approval. Now, with regards to font, just use any of the common ones like Arial, Times New Roman, and you can also use font size 11 or 12, depending on your choice. Doesn't matter. With regards to paragraphing, make sure you are using clear and focused paragraphs. Each paragraph should actually talk about just one idea, and the SOP should have a logical flow. Okay? Moving on, let's talk about the structure. There are basically 7 subheadings that I recommend for every SOP. They are 1. Introduction. 2. Your academics and professional summary and why you want to study the program in Canada and why you're not studying in your home country. This is also known as your purpose of study. 3. How studying in Canada will benefit you in your home country and your future plans and goals after your studies. 5. Your home ties. 6. The finances that are available for you to study in Canada. And 7. Conclusion. Trust me, I don't think there's a need for more than these 7 headings. Now let's get to the exciting part and tie it all together by looking at a sample SOP while I show you how you should arrange the SOP and what you should say in each of these paragraphs. I will not write the SOP in one go, but we will take it paragraph by paragraph. But a word of caution, please do not copy this SOP verbatim because your own SOP would be unique to you. So make it unique to you. Now let's write a winning SOP for someone going to Canada to study a diploma in nursing. The first paragraph is really simple. It's where you introduce yourself and why you are writing this letter. So you can say something like, my name is Whay I, and I am excited to apply for a Canada study permit to enable me study for a 2-year nursing diploma at XYZ College starting in September 2025. Simple as that. If you like, you can include your passport number here or any other introductory statement. In the second paragraph, you can start talking about your education and work experience that have led you to wanting to study the program you are applying for. Here, you are trying to connect your background with the program you plan to study in Canada. And that is why I always advise that you choose a program that aligns with your background in terms of your education and your work experience. So you can say something like, I graduated high school in 2022 with 7 credits in the West African examination exams, but I've always been passionate about nursing. For this SOP, we will talk about an experience you had growing up that made you determined to pursue a nursing career. So in this regard, you can say something like, my mother was a nurse, and many times when I visited her at work after school, I was always amazed at the compassionate way she treated patients at the hospital. As a nurse, she was able to contribute to the healing of suffering people, which affected me in a positive way. All of this experience made me develop a deep passion and interest to study nursing with the aim of helping humanity and providing the service that the world desperately needs. In addition, you can also talk about any related community or volunteer service experience you have and how even that has strengthened your resolve to study your desired program. So for this particular SOP, you can say something like, my love for helping people led me to join the Health Foundation in my country, which also gave me so many opportunities to get first-hand experience in nursing. I also attended various health seminars and workshops aimed at helping me develop relevant care skills. You get the drift? And if you have any trainings or you've done any related courses to your desired study program, this is where to mention it. So if you have that, you can say something like, I have already done an extensive 6-month healthcare course in Nigeria that was followed by an internship at the biggest hospital in Owerri in Nigeria. What this shows the visa officer is that you are already taking some steps in the direction of your desired career and that you are really interested in building your career in that program. If you are going for a postgraduate degree and you have applicable work experience, this is also the place to talk about and explain why you need to increase your skills and knowledge at this time. The next thing you want to address is how studying in Canada will benefit you in your home country and your future plans and goals. Now, this is where most people or even unprofessional agents make the biggest mistake. They don't clearly explain the benefits of studying in Canada to their career or business back. A lot of people don't show how this Canadian degree or diploma will enable them to receive a promotion or to be able to advance professionally, or even how their business will grow when they return back home. You can do this by talking about and showing how much your salary will increase by if you study in Canada, as you will probably get promoted at your job and earn more salary. Don't forget that the visa officer is looking for clear data to convince him or her of why this person will pay so much tuition instead of just studying at home and saving a lot of money. Therefore, it is important to mention how the local education system in your country will probably not lead you anywhere high in your professional growth. You can even say that the program offered in Canada is really unique and not like anything in your country. And all in all, you must continue to demonstrate that you will return home after you graduate. In the next paragraph, you can discuss why you have chosen the school and why you have chosen Canada. Here, you want to prove that you are a genuine student and that you have actually chosen this school and Canada for specific reasons, not just to enter Canada. There are many ways you can write about this, and I'll just give you an example here. You can say something like, I chose XYZ College for my studies because of the curriculum and the strength of its nursing program. Not only is XYZ College one of the biggest and the best healthcare colleges in Canada, but their nursing program provides one of the highest quality of education and equips students with the skills, the knowledge, and the flexibility to adapt to working as a nurse. This is also the reason why I decided not to study in my home country, as I could not find a nursing program that matched the one at SYZ College. Did you see what I did there? You can continue by saying, I am committed to making the best of everything that this opportunity presents, and I plan to utilize the knowledge and the skill set I will gain to be an agent of change to the healthcare system in my country by being a very effective and efficient. I will contribute my quota to the local communities and primary healthcare in Nigeria. In the long term, I plan to grow my career to a head nurse role where I will have the opportunity to teach new nurses how to be effective at their jobs. Now, you can top it up by explaining why you want to study in Canada and not Australia or the USA or UK or even your own country. In this example, you can say something like, in addition, Canada has a very strong healthcare system, unlike that of my country that is still in the early development stage. And since we cannot solve our problems with the same mindset we used to create them, I believe that to solve the problem and challenges in the Nigerian healthcare system, I need to learn and train in a country with a great healthcare system like Canada. Since Canada is one of the top countries in the world in terms of delivering quality healthcare, I would like to learn from the best. I would also have the opportunity to learn from people from different countries and diverse backgrounds, hence my choice of Canada. You can also add any reasons why Canada is a great international study spot, or just one paragraph would do. Just go straight to the point, and please do not talk down your own country. Don't say something like, my country has a terrible education system. That's a no-no. Please don't say that. So are you getting value so far? Have you smashed the like button and subscribed for more videos like this? Do so now. Okay, so let's move on. The next phase is to talk about your family, home ties, and economic ties, which is anything that will compel you to return to your country after your studies. You can talk about your parents, your siblings, your extended family, and immediate family, that is your spouse and children, if you are married. If you are married with children, it might be wise to apply without them so that you can have them as home ties and bring them over right after you land in Canada. You can also talk about any real estate properties you have, a business, a job you are coming back home to, and any community projects or plans you have. These things increase your chances of getting your visa. Moving on, let's talk about how you will write this in your SOP. So you can say something like, I will return to Nigeria for many reasons. Firstly, my parents, Mr. A. SpongeBob and Mrs. B. SpongeBob, are in their 70s, and I desire to be with them in their last years on earth. My parents had 6 children, including me, and my entire family is resident in our home country. I have no family in Canada. In addition, I have a lovely wife and 2 amazing kids who I will be too eager to return home to. It can be a lovely husband, right? If you're a lady. If you have a business back home, talk about it. You can say something like, I have a small salon business in my country, which I opened as a creativity outlet for my love of braiding hair. This business currently has a turnover of 1 million naira, and it is a business that I will be looking forward to returning home to. Also, if you have real estate property or any other asset, mention it and give details of what these assets are, the value of them if possible, and reiterate that you have been investing in your home country. In addition, if you have any special community involvement, any professional bodies that you belong to, any awards you've gotten, talk about it. Now, you're basically showing that you're an efficient person and that you are committed to contributing to your community. These all show that you have ties. We're almost done, but now we get to the most important part of your SOP. Your finances. Fun. The government wants to see that you will not be a burden to Canadian taxpayers. Therefore, to get approved, you need to show that you have at least 1 year of living expenses and your 1 year tuition in available and accessible funds. 1 year of living expenses is now $20,635 for the student, and if you are adding additional family members, you will need to show more money. And if you don't know what the proof of funds is, I will leave a link of the details of the proof of funds in the description below. In addition, you need to indicate where the funds are located, as well as the source of the funds. So if you want to write it, you can say something like this. I am delighted to let you know that my studies will be financially funded by my spouse, Mr. A. Obasi. Just like I did here, if you have a sponsor, put their names and their relationship to you in your SOP. If you're sponsoring yourself, say that as well. So continuing, you can say something like, my spouse is very supportive of my education and career aspirations and has spared no cost to support me to study in Canada. I have made a deposit of 7,150 Canadian dollars to cover my first term tuition, and the receipt from SYZ College is attached to my application. I have been lucky to have been gifted the sum of 5 million naira by my mother, Mrs. SSS, in support of my studies in Canada. I also have my own savings in the sum of 3 million naira, bringing the total funds available for my studies to 20 million naira, which is approximately 21,000 Canadian dollars. This is more than sufficient to cover my tuition and living expenses. So basically, you announce the total amount that is available for your studies and mention that it is not only sufficient, but even more than sufficient. When it comes to finances, it is better to use a direct family member as a sponsor. And in most cases, I advise that adults have their own cash as well to show. Make sure your finance paragraph is very detailed and simple. There must be no ambiguity or complications here. Make sure to show all the evidence of the funds that you have. And one more thing, if you have international travel experience, mention it. If you don't have it, then just be silent about travel experience. Travel history is not that important for your visa approval, so please don't sweat it. But if you do have travel experience, you can say something like this. I am glad to let you know that I have international travel experience, having traveled to the UK and the UAE in 2011 and 2012 respectively. I didn't break any of their immigration rules and I returned to my home country after my visit was over. This shows them that I intend to do the same with Canada and return home after my studies. Make sense? Good. Another word of caution though, do not overshare anything you think that is not necessary or that will put you in trouble. After you have said all of this, you can conclude your SOP by thanking the visa officer for reading your letter and reiterating your passion to study in Canada and that your intention is to return home after your studies. Remember that you must back up everything in your SOP with documentary. So in the SOP we just wrote, you told the visa officer why you want to study in Canada and not in your home country or the UK or any other country, why you chose the course and the school you chose, what your home ties are, monies available for you to study in Canada, and generally why you are eligible to be given a visa at this time. If your application has been refused before, you also need to explain how you have addressed those refusal reasons in this your new application. Guys, believe it or not, I need you to know that a good SOP can make or break your visa application. If you screw it up, you might be looking at a visa refusal straight in the eye. I have given you the secrets that people pay a lot of money for, and I sincerely hope I was able to help you start thinking about how to craft your own winning SOP. Of course, you can do it all by yourself by following the points I have just listed above, and you will get a great SOP. However, if you can get my Study in Canada program called the Canada Jaffa System, you will find winning SOP samples that you can model, and we can help you review your SOP for free. I will leave a link to the details of the Canada Jaffa System below in the description. One more thing. Because of how crucial the SOP is, I am willing to give just 5 people the opportunity to work on their SOP for an affordable fee. If you're interested in this, you can connect with me on email. I will leave my email address in the description below as well. Remember, I only have 5 slots, and those 5 slots will go soon, especially because it's so affordable. It's nothing compared to the $500 that is charged by some immigration consultants. There will also be an option in the description below to schedule a call with me if you want to discuss how to improve your specific case. Now, don't forget to save this video so that you can come back to it later. Subscribe to the channel and connect with me on Instagram and TikTok. I post there on a daily basis and my handles are up here. Now, why don't you watch this video next where I answered some of the top questions that international students like you and international students to be are asking. Keep being awesome and keep your Canada dreams alive. And I'll talk to you in the next one.